on your wedding night and you're telling your bride to leave you alone, over? Maybe we call that the people's radio there. There's more than a handful of those radios out there. So, well, Ron, welcome to Amateur Radio, and glad you're on sideband here and not just doing the whole FT8 thing, although I don't have anything against FT8 folks. If it wasn't for FT8, the hobby would be in dire straits. So we need to thank those people for bringing all their dollars, and certainly the ARRL knows where their bread is buttered. All right, very good. So I've asked you about every question I know to ask you. And, oh yeah, so you're probably wondering, well, how did that whole wedding thing turn out? Well, I lived in purgatory for 31 years and finally got her to sit in that button and hit the eject button, so she had to go. Nah, she's a pretty good old gal, you know, gave me 2 fine daughters. Appreciate that. But I got a dog instead, and I'm a lot happier. So your mileage may vary. Kilo Delta 4, Romeo Oscar November. Thanks for listening there, Ron. You're a good listener. 7-3 to you. People are going to be having some late afternoon, evening storms. Rather unstable air mass has descended across the southeast, so keep an eye out of the sky there. All right. Very good. Okay, Whiskey 4, Oscar Victor Tango. We'll go for a few more check-ins here, listening for your full call sign. Phonetically, please call now.
November 4, India Tango.
Oh, a big pile up there. All I got out of that was a November 4. Again?
November 4, India Tango.
Okay, let me try this again. I heard a November 4, only the November 4. So November, like, you know, after Mike, before Papa, November 4, after 3, before 5. So only the November 4 station. Again, please.
November 4, India Tango. November 4, India Tango.
All right, Carl, Kent, Ohio, unmolested by the other station that doesn't understand what November 4 means. Good to hear you there. Carl, this is Mark in North Carolina on a 10 Tech Orion 2. What radio are you talking on today? Over.
Okay, Mark. Nice to meet you. Actually, I'm from North Carolina, but have been living in Ohio for the last 19 years. And I'm using an FT840 with amplifier, Ameritron ALS 600, and a 5-band Hustler antenna. My son lives in Greensboro, and he works at, I was going to tell you, if you had ever been there, something about, I'll get it in a minute, but would like to ask you, did you ever know W4AJC Weldon?
I don't believe so. You say it was Alpha Golf Tango? Was that the call, over?
Alpha Juliet Tango.
You know, the call is familiar, but the name is not, so I'll have to say no. Over?
Okay. He's been on silent key now for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. But great guy. And used to be acquainted with him. My first HF radio was a Syntec Omni A, one of the old ones. And I bought it used for $250, and it served me well. I worked over 200, I confirmed over 200 countries on 100 watts and wire equipment. And I was in a good situation where I was near the ocean, down near Emerald Isle, and near some brackish water, and had a copper-plated ground light in. And I get 30 or 40 overseas from Europe at night. But what did that finally sent it to them to see if they could repair it. They said, I can't repair it, so I said, well, keep it. It costs too much to send it back. WOVT, Mark, this is N4IT, back to you.
All right, yeah, the call here is Whiskey 4, Oscar, Victor, Tango, W4OVT. It's a vanity call for a Revolutionary War story, the Over Mountain Victory Trail. And we celebrate that story coming up not too long, end of September, up to the anniversary of the battle at Kings Mountain. And check out Kilo 4 Mike on QRZ. That's been updated for this year's activation. K4M, KM for Kings Mountain, one of the major battles in the Southern campaign of the American Revolution, where had not those Patriot militia victories occurred, we would all be paying British taxes and sipping British tea unto this day. So we really enjoy keeping that story alive. But meanwhile, we're doing the Syntec nets here and really enjoy it. It's a great story to keep alive and meet so many people like yourself who had a fond interaction with the products and the people of Syntec there. Okay, on the FT840, and very good, Carl. Well, listen, it's a pleasure to meet you there, and thank you so much for checking in from Kent, Ohio. Love the call sign, too. I was an information technology guy. That would have been a call I would have loved to have had back in the day. I worked for a company called Sun Microsystems for several decades there, as did Fred Lloyd. Fred Lloyd wrote QRZ.com in his spare time back in the early 90s and gifted that to the marketplace. Yes, you can pay a subscription, but you get extra functionality. But the basic interaction with QRZ is free. And Fred is such a unappreciated contributor to amateur radio. So glad to have been an associate of his Sun Microsystems. November 4, India Tango, W4OVT, 7-3, Carl.
Okay, just wanted to say one thing. I don't know if you've heard of this place or not. My son works at Fat Dog Grill and Pub in Greensboro. I wonder if you've ever been there. And I'll make this my final. 7-3, WOVT. This is N4IT, and I am not in IT. So long, Mark.
No, I'm not familiar with that facility there. And Carl, I need to borrow the 4 out of your call sign and insert it into mine. There you've got WOVT. So you put a 4 behind the whiskey there. So Whiskey 4, Oscar, Victor, Tango. And there you've got it. So 7-3, understand you're in